When people talk about encounters with the supernatural, there's often an air of skepticism. I was once one of those people who would listen to such stories and politely nod, secretly brushing them off as exaggerations or overactive imaginations. But that was before I faced the horrors of a jinn, a malevolent entity so terrifying that even recounting the events now sends shivers down my spine. It began innocently enough, with a visit to my family's ancestral home in the outskirts of a small remote village. The house was ancient, its stone walls weathered by time and the stories of countless generations. My grandparents had passed away years ago, and the house was left to decay in eerie silence. It was only recently that my parents decided it was time to renovate it, hoping to preserve the family legacy. They sent me ahead to oversee the early stages of work. I agreed, thinking it would be a brief and uneventful trip. I was wrong. Arriving at the house was like stepping into another world. The surrounding forest seemed alive, whispering in a language only it understood. The house itself had an oppressive presence, with windows that felt like watchful eyes and shadows that seemed to stretch unnaturally long. The villagers greeted me with wary smiles, their words laced with cryptic warnings. "Don't disturb what doesn't want to be disturbed," one old man said, his voice low and trembling. I brushed it off as local superstition and made my way inside. Inside, the house was a tomb of memories. Dust-coated furniture, faded photographs, and the faint smell of mildew greeted me. Yet there was something else, a strange heaviness in the air, as though the house itself was holding its breath. That first night, I lay awake in the room that had once belonged to my grandfather. The silence was oppressive, broken only by the occasional creak of the old wooden floorboards. As I drifted toward sleep, I heard it, a faint whispering sound, like someone murmuring in the next room. I froze. What happens next will haunt you. Watch the full story now on Frightful Murmurs.